Hey YouTubers, this is Old John. Going to make a video today as I replace the seal around the front pulley on my John Deere tractor. It's leaking. I got this part at the local John Deere store. I think it cost around $10. I'll put the price here on the page. But it's this main seal. Got a little bit of grease on the inside. Goes in like that. And so first I'm going to have to take out the old. Here's my John Deere. It's an L130. Pretty good size. I've still got my snow blade on it. Here you can see I've had a piece of cardboard down and it's leaked. While I'm at this, I've drained all the oil and I put in a new filter. But it's leaking right here. On top of this front pulley. So this pulley comes off and there's a plate here, it looks like. So I've not removed this before, so it's going to be a new experience. So start off by taking this bolt off and see what happens. Okay, so this takes a 16mm socket, and since I'm intentionally turning the engine here, I think I disconnected the two spark plugs just to be sure. And as I try to turn this, I see it's turning the shaft, so it's not going to work. I'm going to have to wedge something in here to keep it from turning. Well, unfortunately I determined that I can't get this loose. I think it's going to require special tools. So I called the local John Deere dealer and they were very straightforward, and consequently I'm going to show you their address here because the guy was extremely honest with me, which is hard to find nowadays. They're located in Moscow Mills, 155 John Deere Drive, Tri-County Power Center. I think the name has changed to Seidenfelter or something like that. Well, here we go. Seidenstricker, and they have stores other places in Missouri. But he told me, quite frankly, John Deere usually allows at least 4.5 hours to do this seal replacement because you have to pull this spindle off. Sometimes the spindle is stuck to parts of the motor, crankcase, whatever, and or on the shaft, and literally they have to cut it off with a blowtorch. But at minimum, they pull the motor so they can get to everything. And of course, the seal has to be pressed in with some kind of pressing tools. And he said the minimum of 4.5 hours is what they estimate. Their fee is in the 90s, so say round it to 100. That's probably approximately $450. And that's not all the parts. Now I already have the seal, so that's probably $13 worth. But anyway, and I bought this mower from a neighbor in 2012, so that's 6 going on 5 years or so. And at that time I checked with John Deere on the value of this L130 automatic, and it was about $900, and that's what I paid for it. So this is probably going to cost at least half of that to replace it. And the guy just told me, unless you're losing a quart of oil every time you mow, you can obviously buy a lot of oil for that. And I think, as I mentioned earlier, as things heat up, it seems like the seal, expands in the warmer weather and with use, and there's no leakage. It's just when I shut it off and leave it off for a month at a time, it gets colder. Seems like everything shrinks because of the cold. Then it starts to leak. So I'm going to go just with it the way it is, but I wanted to make you aware that this could be a very expensive proposition. Now, if you did the work yourself and you had the tools, you could do it for half of that or less maybe. So for those who have the equipment at the time, the workspace, consider it. But I'm just making you aware it's a pretty expensive proposition, in the neighborhood of $400 to $500 possibly, if you have it done by a John Deere dealer. And of course they're going to give you a higher price markup and so forth. So anyway, hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, give me a thumbs up and come back for more videos. Old John signing out.